The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards clarity. It rewards courage. It rewards those who refuse to stay asleep while the rest of the world snoozes behind financial illusions. Look around you. What do you see? Inflation's rising. Debt is celebrated. People spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't need, to impress people they don't even like. And somewhere in that madness, the rich keep getting richer. Why? It's not because they're smarter. It's not because they work harder. It's because they play a different game with a different set of rules. While most people are busy trading time for money, the rich, they're trading money for freedom. They don't work for money. They make money work for them. And that's where everything changes. Because until you understand the rules of the rich, you will forever be a pawn in someone else's empire. The rich don't chase paychecks. They build pipelines. They don't fear debt. They master it. They don't hope for security. They create leverage. While the average person saves money in a bank that pays less interest than inflation, the wealthy are using that same money to acquire cash-flowing assets. Assets that increase in value over time and spit out passive income whether they wake up or not. This isn't luck. This is design, deliberate, unapologetic, relentless. Because the rich know something the poor were never taught. Wealth is not earned, it is engineered. Let that sink in. The poor and middle class were trained to earn money, save it, spend it, and die broke. The rich were trained to acquire assets, reduce taxes, reinvest cash flow, and build empires. Two worlds, same planet, different outcomes. So ask yourself, whose rules are you playing by? Because if you're still believing that a job is security, that saving is safety, and that retirement is a reward, then you're still stuck in the system designed not to free you, but to own you. Robert Kiyosaki said it best. The rich teach their kids how money works. The poor teach their kids how to work for money. And the difference between those two philosophies is generational wealth or generational struggle. You weren't born to struggle. You weren't born to live paycheck to paycheck, to drown in debt, to be enslaved by your bills, to hand over your dreams in exchange for weekends off and 2 weeks of vacation a year. You were born to build, to lead, to own. But first, you must do what most people never will. You must wake up, because the game is rigged, but not in the way you think. It's rigged in favor of those who understand it. The tax code, it's a roadmap, not a prison. Debt, it's a weapon, not a curse. Money, it's a tool, not a god. And until you master these tools, you will be mastered by them. This isn't about how much you make. This is about how you think, because your bank account is a reflection of your philosophy. And if you think like the masses, you will end up like the masses. Lost, broke, burned out, dependent. But if you shift your mindset from scarcity to strategy, from earning to owning, from consumer to creator, the world begins to respond differently. You start to see opportunity where others see risk. You start asking, how can I afford it? Instead of, I can't. You stop waiting for a raise and start raising your value. And suddenly, you're no longer a player in someone else's game. You become the architect of your own wealth. The rich are not lucky. They are not chosen. They are aware. They understand that money flows to those who solve problems, not those who complain about them. They know that the real asset is not the house, or the stock, or the business. The real asset is the mind that built it. So if you want to change your financial future, don't chase more hours. Chase more awareness. Read what the wealthy read. Study what the wealthy study. Move how the wealthy move. Because while most are stuck in the illusion of effort, the rich are obsessed with leverage. Time, money, people, systems. The rich use them all. Not to hustle harder, but to escape the hustle entirely. And it starts with one decision. I will no longer settle for survival, because you weren't built for survival. You were built to thrive. But thriving requires truth. And the truth is this. Most people stay poor not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack financial education. They weren't taught about assets. They weren't taught about cash flow. They weren't taught that school was built to make employees, not owners. So they go to school, get good grades, get a job, and wonder why they're drowning in bills while their boss gets richer every year. It's not an accident, it's a blueprint, and you've been following it blindly. But now you know. Now you've seen behind the curtain, and now you can build your own. Because real wealth doesn't come from a salary, it comes from strategy. Strategy is the secret language of the wealthy. The broke plan for Friday nights, the rich plan for financial freedom. They sit at tables most people don't even know exist. Not because they're invited, but because they built the table. While you're scrolling, they're studying. While you're watching Netflix, they're watching markets. While you're spending, they're investing. The truth? Wealth is boring. It's consistent. It's disciplined. It's doing what others won't for years, so you can live how others can't, forever. The rich understand that passive income isn't a fantasy. It's a formula. They find what pays them repeatedly, not just immediately, because anyone can make money once. But the wealthy make it again and again and again while they sleep. They plant seeds in silence and harvest loudly. Real estate, royalties, dividends, businesses, licensing. They don't chase one stream. They build multiple rivers because they know the job isn't the goal. It's the starting line. And you've been tricked into thinking your income is capped at the hours you work, that your value is measured by your resume, your degree, your job title. But value doesn't come from titles. It comes from impact. The market doesn't care where you went to school. It cares about the value you bring to it. That's why the janitor who learns real estate can out-earn the lawyer who plays it safe. That's why the dropout who starts a business can retire before 40, while the PhD still pays student loans. It's not about credentials, it's about courage. The rich take risks, but not reckless ones. They study, they analyze, then they move. Fast, decisive, unafraid. Because they know waiting for permission is the fastest way to go nowhere. The middle class plays defense. The rich play offense. While others save for a rainy day, the rich build financial arcs, vehicles that carry them through the storms. Because storms will come: recession, job loss, inflation, crisis. But the rich don't panic, they prepare. They understand one of the most powerful truths in wealth. In every crisis lies a fortune. While others hoard, they hunt. While others fear, they focus. During the Great Depression, while families starved, millionaires were made. During 2008, while homeowners lost everything, investors built empires. In 2020, while the world locked down, digital entrepreneurs unlocked new wealth. Because money doesn't disappear, it just moves. And if you don't know where it's going, it's probably leaving you. You have to think like a radar, not a rock, scanning, sensing, shifting. Because adaptability isn't just survival, it's leverage. And here's the part no one tells you. The rich create the very systems that the poor live inside of. They build platform, while others scroll. They issue credit, while others borrow. They own real estate, while others rent. They write the books, while others consume. The difference isn't access, it's intention. Same 24 hours, same economy, radically different outcomes. Why? Because the rich design their outcomes. They don't wait for opportunity, they manufacture it. And all of that starts with your mindset. The most expensive thing you can own is a limited mind, because every belief becomes a blueprint. Every thought becomes a tool or a trap. If you believe you're not good with money, you'll sabotage every dollar you touch. If you believe rich people are greedy, you'll push wealth away with guilt. If you believe you need money to make money, you'll never start and you'll never grow. But if you believe money is a tool, if you believe wealth is a skill, if you believe you are worthy of abundance, then you begin to move differently. Because wealth doesn't come to the desperate, it comes to the decided. The moment you decide, truly, fully, unapologetically, that you will never again be broke, never again be at the mercy of a paycheck, never again let your children inherit struggle, that moment is the birth of your financial revolution. That moment separates the old you from the one who's coming. The owner, the investor, the strategist. But don't mistake inspiration for execution. Motivation without movement is useless. The rich don't just believe in success, they train for it. Daily habits, aggressive learning, uncomfortable growth. They know that freedom isn't free, it's earned. Through sacrifice, through discipline, through relentless pursuit. They read more books in a year than most do in a decade. They hire coaches, they join masterminds, they pay for knowledge because they understand. Ignorance is the most expensive bill you'll ever pay, and that's the irony. Most people are too broke to invest in their brain, but spend endlessly on their distractions. You don't need a new phone. You need a new philosophy. You don't need more hours, you need more leverage. And you don't need a raise. You need a reason. A reason so big it wakes you up early, keeps you up late, refuses to let you live average. Because average is where dreams go to die. And you were never meant for average. You were meant to own your life, to build something so real, so strong, so independent that your kids inherit options, not obstacles. That's what the rich understand. It's not just about money, it's about legacy. It's about building something that lasts longer than you, something that pays your family long after you're gone, something that gives them a head start because you were brave enough to change the narrative. Legacy isn't just about inheritance, it's about intention. It's the story your grandchildren tell about you, not because of what you left them, but because of what you taught them. And the wealthy know this: the most valuable gift isn't money, it's mindset. Because money can disappear, markets can crash, businesses can fall, but a mindset forged in courage, ownership, and responsibility rebuilds. That's the real reason the rich get richer. Because even if you stripped away their assets, their habits would rebuild them. Their beliefs would resurrect them. Their vision would guide them back to abundance. You see, most people fear losing everything because they never built anything. They cling to comfort, to stability, to enough, because they've never stood in front of their future and said, I want more, and I'm willing to pay the price for it. But the rich, they've already died once. They've buried the old identity, the small thinking, the playing not to lose, and they've been reborn as architects of destiny. They know you don't escape the system by begging for mercy. You escape by understanding the rules and then owning the board. They don't play checkers, they play chess. Every move calculated, every risk evaluated, every sacrifice made with purpose. While the masses ask, how much does it cost? The wealthy ask, what's the ROI? Because they understand, every dollar is a soldier, and those soldiers better be going to war for their freedom, so they deploy them into assets, into real estate, into stocks, into startups, into skill sets that multiply. They don't spend, they invest. Even in time, in energy, in relationships. They don't hang around people who complain. They don't waste hours defending old limitations. They don't gossip, they strategize. Because they know environment is everything. You can't grow a redwood tree in a desert, and you can't grow a millionaire mind in a poverty conversation. So the rich design their ecosystem for success. They surround themselves with winners. People who think in terms of opportunity, not obstacle. People who speak the language of elevation, not excuses. Because your circle is your ceiling. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. The rich aren't afraid to feel uncomfortable. They demand it. Growth is not convenient. Discipline is not sexy. Vision is not passive. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. And the truth is, most people won't become wealthy, not because they lack potential, but because they lack pain tolerance. They'd rather stay broke than be uncomfortable. They'd rather scroll than study, complain than commit, hope than hunt. But wealth doesn't respond to hope. It responds to hunger, the same fire that drove Carnegie to rise from factory worker to titan, the same obsession that led Edison to fail 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. The same resilience that helped Oprah rise from poverty to empire. That fire, it's not reserved for the chosen. It's chosen by the reserved, by those willing to sacrifice their old life for a better one. So I ask you now, what are you still holding on to? An outdated belief about money? An identity rooted in fear? A routine that keeps you poor, stuck, and tired? Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be is the version of you you're unwilling to let go of. You think playing small is noble, that waiting your turn is wise, that being realistic is responsible. But what if I told you playing small is selfish? Because the world needs your biggest self, your boldest dreams, your unleashed genius. And money? Money is just a tool, a magnifier. It amplifies who you are. If you're generous, you'll give more. If you're a visionary, you'll build more. If you're wise, you'll grow more. But if you're afraid, money will flee from you like a shadow at sunrise. So stop asking for permission to win. Stop apologizing for wanting wealth. Stop hiding behind humility when your family needs transformation. The rich aren't getting richer by accident. They're getting richer because they understand wealth is warfare, spiritual, mental, emotional warfare, between vision and distraction, between purpose and procrastination, between who you were and who you must become. And here's the final truth. You don't need millions to feel wealthy, but you do need alignment with purpose, with contribution, with value. The richest people aren't just those with money. They're the ones who own their time, live their truth, and build their legacy. And that is available to you, not someday, today, but only if you step up, only if you go all in, only if you burn the comfort zone to the ground and rise from its ashes like a warrior on fire. The rich are getting richer, not because of luck, but because of leverage, because of leadership, because of letting go of the lies that keep most people average. So choose right now. Will you be another name in the system? Or the architect who rewrote the blueprint? The clock is ticking, your legacy is waiting, and the door to wealth is wide open. But you must walk through it, eyes open, mind sharp, heart ready, because the rich aren't special. They're just awake. And so now the only question is, are you?